it seems messy, and that's actually something that I was going to say about you're talking about nature, how you kind of see it all and you don't want to improve it. It's like it seems chaotic, but there's like a real kind of order to it all. There's a flow to it all, and I think that's kind of, in my experience, that's kind of what reality looks like. It seems on like the base level to be utter chaos. It seems to be just crazy, and there almost seems to be like just so much going on that you can't make any correlations or see any patterns. But if you look closely enough, you do see those patterns. And I mean, that's something that I really have appreciated about, and I think one of the reasons why I got into astrology was because it was a way for me to be able to perceive those patterns throughout people and throughout situations and throughout world events and throughout all of history, be able to witness.
Or the stars. Like, I look up into the stars and like, I always try to see what they're saying or what's going on, but like there's certain times where I can look up, and I don't know when it was exactly, but I look up and then I can actually, like, this is at the grand picture of the solar or of all the stars in the sky, all the constellations, and it's just like I actually can see like a swirl, like some sort of swirling pattern. I'm like looking twice. I'm like, whoa, I've never seen that before. Like, what? Like, I don't know if that's like a thing or not, but I'm like, obviously you can see triangles everywhere and all the shapes you can possibly imagine, but there's times where I look up and I see a pattern, which you don't really get that.
I think it's all there. It's just about, are you keen enough to be able to see it? It's like, why did collectives of ancients be able to look at the same star pattern and see a similar animal or some sort of similar structure and be able to extrapolate that from that? It wasn't just one culture that said this is that. No, they all had, some of them were different, like, well, maybe one's a snake and the other's a dragon, but it's like, is that really that much different? It's kind of crazy when you think about it, because it does all seem chaotic, but it's not really. There's a divine order to it all, and but you have to know what to look for, and I think that's the work, is being able to attune yourself to be able to see those patterns, whether that's through astrology, whether that's through just fine details, or whether that's through your clothing, or whether that's through nature and seeing the pattern of the trees. And so there's lots of patterns and lots of ways of perceiving those patterns, and I think that's what gives us a feeling of meaning in the world. I think when we're able to recognize ourselves as a part of those patterns, and we're able to kind of even be the observer of the patterns, which I think makes humans very, I guess, stand out from the rest of nature in many ways, is that we're able to, and I'm sure all nature perceives very different patterns than we do, but I think the way in which we perceive patterns and the variety of the ways in which we perceive patterns, whether that's through language or astronomy or mathematics or
Fibonacci
science or Fibonacci or our color, sound, music. There's so many ways that we as humans were able to create a sense of order out of the chaos. And if you look, it's there. Seek and you shall find.